Okay, so welcome all the students. So today we'll start with the all air systems. In last lecture, we start with the air conditioning systems. We classify the air conditioning systems. We study different types of air conditioning systems, and lastly, we'll start with the all air system. Okay, so in all air system, basically the air is used as a media that transport energy from conditioned space to the air conditioning plant. Okay, there will be a air conditioning plant at the center of a building, and the air will be used in order to transport the heat energy from the conditioned place to the air conditioning plant. Now this air will extract sensible as well as latent heat from the room in a summer in order to cool the room, and in winter this air is used to supply sensible and latent heat to the room in a winter season. Okay, and after that, after conditioning the space, this air will be supplied back to the air conditioning plant through a return air duct. Okay, so in all air conditioning, one can say that the air will be used in order to carry the heat energy to and from the air conditioning plant to the conditioned space that we need to condition. Okay, so secondly, the all air systems can be further classified as single duct system. Okay, so in single duct system, there will be a one duct that might either provide a cooling or a heating of the room. Okay, so we can cool or heat the air with the help of a single duct system, but simultaneously heating or cooling cannot be taken place with the help of a single duct system. Okay, so this is the disadvantage of a single duct system, but this type of a system we can use either for cooling or heating. That is, cooling can be carried out in case of a summer, or heating can be carried out in case of a winter. Okay, as per requirement. Now this single duct system further been classified as single duct constant volume, means volume flow rate through the room is remains constant irrespective of the load on the room. And single zone system means you have to just cool the single zone. Single duct constant volume multi-volt zone system, that is single duct will be there, constant volume means volume flow rate to the room is constant, but the system is used for the multiple zones, mean there are number of zones are more than one. Then last is the single duct variable volume systems. Okay, so this is a very much important type of a system, as the volume flow rate to the room is varied. As you all know that the cooling load or a heating load inside the room may varies, means the temperature requirement of the different rooms might be different, means one room require 25 degrees Celsius room temperature, and one room might require 20 degrees Celsius constant room to room temperature. So under those conditions, we need to vary the volume flow rate to the system. So under those conditions, we can use variable volume system. Okay, the next type of a system, that is dual duct system. So in dual duct systems, we can provide cooling as well as heating. Okay, there will be two ducts. So in one duct there will be a cooling air, and in another duct there will be a heated air. Okay, so cooling and heating can be provided simultaneously. So it is of two types, that is dual duct constant volume systems and dual duct variable volume systems. Okay, so just raise your hand so that I will further move further. I understand up to this. What is all air system? Okay, now this all air system can be further classified into a single duct constant volume just a minute. It is single duct constant volume. This is not a multiple zone. This is single zone. Okay, my mistake. This is written over here. Okay, this is what a single duct zone system. Okay, first that we have to study is the single duct constant volume single zone system. Okay, so in case of a single duct constant volume single zone system, you can see here, outside air will first pass over the cooling coil, then heating coil, and then through the fan it will pass through over the humidifier, and then this air will be supplied to the condition space which you need to condition. Okay, uh, sensors will be used in order to maintain the temperature inside the cooling coil, and a humidifier sensor is used in order to maintain the humidity inside the condition space. Now with the help of these systems, we either provide cooling or heating inside the condition space, and there will be only single zone or a single room will be there, which we can condition. Okay, now when condition of room is taking place, or some amount of air, that is the return air, will be circulated with the help of a return pad. Okay, out of which some of the air will be exhausted to the atmosphere, and some of the air with the help of a damper is recirculated with the fresh air that is coming out from the outside. And this air mix up with the recirculated air, and further this recirculated and mixed air, that is the mixing air, will be supplied over the cooling coil, then how to the heating coil, and with the help of fan it is moved towards the condition space. Okay, so with the help of such type of a system, either we can provide cooling or a heating. Okay, now what are the different applications of single zone constant volume systems? Okay, so this type of systems can be used with uniform loads or such or large open areas. So uniform loads and large open areas, so such type of applications are what? Theaters, auditoria, or departmental stores. Okay, so in those areas we can use such type of systems where any load on the system is uniform and there is large open areas. Okay, so for the purpose of auditorium, theaters, also you can use this in a party hall also. This type of systems can be used in a party halls also. Okay, as there is enough amount of space in the space available, so this type of cooling system can be used for the party hall also. Now this can be used in the laboratories also in order to maintain the temperature inside the room. Then single zone multiple system single and multiple zone systems can be used in large buildings such as factories, office buildings, etc. Okay, so this can be used in a large buildings also. Okay, that is office buildings. Okay, where we need to condition the space. Okay, a large space, and also in factories, as we all know that the factory, the workshop also we can use such type of systems as the space available is of large enough. Okay, so this type of systems can use, these are the different applications where you can use such type of systems. Okay, so just raise your hand so that we can move further. I understand a single zone, single constant volume, single duct system. Okay, there will be one duct only. Okay, now the next is single duct constant volume multiple zone system. Okay, so in earlier state we only discussed with the single zone system. Now what is the basic difference between these two systems is that the outside air will mix up with the recirculated air, and then it is passed over the cooling coil, and then to the on the heating coil. Okay, and then it is passed over the supply air fan, and after that it will pass over the humidifier. After that this air will be distributed into the number of zones, and before supplying to the condition space, the air is first reheated in the reheat coils. Okay, so this is the basic difference between single duct constant volume and single duct constant volume multiple zone system. Okay, in single zone system we just provide these two things, we don't provide reheat coils. Okay, now these reheat coils will reheat the air at the required temperature and then supply to the condition space where the required temperature is need to be maintained. Okay, when suppose here we have to maintain a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, where we have to maintain a temperature of 24 degrees Celsius, and here we have to maintain a temperature of 23 degrees Celsius. So as per the requirement of the condition space, this reheat coil will reheat the air and supply it to the condition space. Now then the return air will be supplied through return duct, and this return duct will exhaust some amount of air to the atmosphere, and again some of the air will mix with the fresh air, and the same process will be carried out. Okay, so what are the advantages of a single duct multiple zone system or a single duct single zone system? Okay, so relatively small space requirement is there. As this as we here we can see the space requirement is same, only the additional thing is reheat coils. Okay, and we'll get the better control of the system in case of a multiple zone system. Okay, then excellent temperature and humidity control over a wide range of zone loads. Okay, means we can maintain the temperature and humidity inside the room as per the loads on the room. As per the load requirement of the room, we can supply the required quantity of heat in order to maintain the temperature and humidity control. So here the flow of air will remain constant as there is no damper provided in the in case of a multiple zone system also. Okay, so here the important thing or important advantage over the single system is the temperature and humidity control can be maintained, as we are providing here reed coil. Okay, the next, proper ventilation and air quality can be maintained in each zone. Okay, so proper ventilation and air quality can be maintained inside the each zone, as we are circulating enough amount of recirculated air and enough amount of which some of the air is exhausted to the surroundings. So we are supplying enough amount of pressure in order to have a proper ventilation inside this room. Okay, so this is all about the single duct constant volume multiple zone system. Okay, so basically there are some of the disadvantages of a single duct multiple zone constant volume system. The first disadvantage is the high energy consumption for cooling, as air is first cooled to a very low temperature. As you all know that the cooling coil and heating coil is provided in the duct, where air is cooled first in the cooling coil and then it is heated. Okay, and then it is heated air, and then it is also reheated in a reheat coil. So the high energy consumption will be there in case of a single duct constant volume system. Okay, simultaneous cooling and heating cannot be possible. Here the limitation is the simultaneous heating and cooling cannot be provided. Then next is the single duct variable volume system. The basic difference between single duct variable volume system is that the here dampers are provided in case of a variable volume systems. Okay, means we can vary the volume flow rate to the condition zone. Okay, means suppose there is a cooling less cooling load in a condition zone 1 and higher cooling load in condition zone 2, then in that case we can supply less amount of air flow rate to the condition space 1 and higher amount of volume flow rate to the condition number condition zone 2, so that, and this is achieved with the help of a damper. So dampers is and this can be easily achieved by only opening the dampers, okay, to required volume, so that the this space requirement will be fulfilled. Okay, so this is a basic difference between single duct and variable volume system. So the remaining parts will remain same, that is cooling coil will be there. There is no necessity of heating coil over here. Okay, supply air with the duct is supply the air to the system, and these dampers will supply the air as per the load on the system or as per the requirement of the each zone. Okay, so this is the what is the basic difference between the single duct and single duct constant volume system and single duct variable volume system. So single duct variable volume systems are much more or we can say it has more advantages compared to a single duct system. So which are those advantages? That is lower energy consumption in cooling system. In case of a single duct single volume system, in case of a single duct single volume system, irrespective of the load, the volume flow rate remains constant. But in case of a variable volume system, as the load on the system changes, the volume flow rate to the system also changes. So the whatever the cooling load capacity, cooling load on the cooling will remains change as per the changes in the condition zone. Okay. Then lower energy consumption also results due to the lower fan power input due to the lower flow rate, and when load is low, means whenever there is a low load, so there will be a low outside air requirement. Okay, so there will be a low load on the fan will be there. Okay, so this is a basic difference between single duct constant volume system and single duct variable volume system. So just raise your hand so that we can move further. Have you understand up to this? See, such type of a system is generally used in case of a central air conditioning plants. In a central air conditioning plants where we have to cool a different types of different zones in a building. Okay, it may be office, it may be a multi-story building also. Okay. Now the next, that is the dual duct constant volume system. Now in dual duct constant volume system, the disadvantages of single duct constant volume system are overcome. Okay, so in this case there will be two ducts. Okay, so in one duct there will be cooling coil provided, and in another duct the heating coil will be there, and this cooling over this cooling coil the air will be passed, and this cool air will then is passed to the cooling duct. Okay, and heating coil is used to heat the air, and then this air will be passed to the heating coil heating duct. Okay, So now here simultaneously heating as well as cooling can be carried out in each zone. Means if there is a requirement of a cooling in this zone, so we can pass only a cooling cool air to this particular zone. If there is a heating requirement is in this zone, so we can pass only a heated air to this zone. Okay, so simultaneous heating as well as cooling can be provided in case of a dual duct system. Now the parts of a system are resolved. There will be a fan. Okay, so before the fan there will be mixing taking place of the recirculated air from the air and from the room, and fresh air from the surrounding. Fresh air from the surrounding. Then this air will be blown over the cooling coil or heating coil. In cooling coil, the air will be cool, and this cool air will be supplied to the condition zone. Simultaneously, heating coil is over the heating coil air is passed. Then this hot air also pass through this duct, and in this air, that is cold air and hot air, is mixed in the mixing box. This air will be mixed in the mixing box. Here a dampers is not provided, so there will be a constant volume to the volume flow rate to the condition space take place. Okay, so here we can see the mixing in mixing box, there will be mixing of cooling air as well as heating air, and as per the requirement on the requirement of the condition zone, we supply the air to the room. Okay, and after that some of the air is recirculated through the recirculated fan, and then it is mixed up with the fresh air. Okay, so this is what about the dual duct constant volume system. Now the second system is dual duct variable volume system. So basic difference between dual duct constant volume system and dual duct variable volume system is that in dual duct constant volume system there will be no dampers over here. So in case of a dual duct variable volume system, okay, variable volume system, there will be a dampers. Okay, so which will regulate the flow of air inside the each zone. Okay, so in case of a variable volume system, okay, dual duct variable volume system. Okay, so there are different types of zones that we need to condition. Okay, so this is what is the basic difference between dual duct constant volume system and dual duct variable volume system. Okay, so just raise your hand so that we can move further. Have I understood up to this? Okay, so these are the things we have studied, that is single duct constant volume system. Okay, that is single duct system and dual duct system. Single duct system can provide either cooling or heating, and dual duct system can provide simultaneous heating as well as cooling of air. Okay, now whenever this air is flowing through the duct, there might be a drop in pressure. So we need to design a duct in such a way that there will be a constant pressure inside the room should take place. Okay, so in unit number 6 we have to study a design of duct also. So we'll study in unit number 6. That things we will study in unit number 6. Now the important thing is that we need to know the all those things, that is all air system and all water system. Okay, this is all about the all air system, where air will be used in order to carry the heat energy from the condition space to the condition apparatus to the condition space. Okay, now in case the another system that is used is all water system. Now what is the advantages of all water system over the all air system is that for same cooling load we need less amount of mass flow rate of air. As you all know that from the basic principle of thermodynamics, okay, we study the sensible heat transfer is nothing but mcp T2 minus T2 minus T1. Suppose in all water systems, okay, suppose instead of using air we use a water. Okay, so as you all know that the specific heat of water is 4.187, means heat carrying capacity of water is 4.187 kilojoule per kg. Okay, as compared to the air which is having a specific heat at a constant pressure, that is 1 kilojoule, so water can carry almost 4 times the air, 4 times the heat compared to the air. Means 1 kg of water, 1 kg of water will carry a 4 times more amount of kilojoule of heat in comparison to the air. So this is the basic advantage of all water system. Means suppose there is huge load on the cooling system or a air conditioning system. Under those cases, we generally use water instead of a air. Means we not directly do not pass air over the cooling coil, we pass water over the cooling coil. So this can be called as a cooling coil, or it may be called as a cooling chiller. It may be called as a chiller, and this chiller or cooling coil is used to cool the water, and this water is allowed to pass through the pipes, and then it is supplied to the different zones. Here we can see the different zones. Okay, so this is a multiple zone system. Okay, but the working fluid, okay, the working fluid used in this case is what? Water. Okay, here we can see the fluid used in thermal distribution of the system is water, that is water transport energy from the conditioned space and the air conditioning plants. Okay, so in this case water will be supplied, or water will be initially conditioned. Okay, and its temperature will be dropped, and then this water will be supplied to the units that is fixed inside the room. That unit is called as terminal units, where the heat transfer from the water to the air take place. Okay, so this will see in the next slide. These are the water flow control was provided in this line, so that the water flow can be adjusted as per the load on the system. Okay, now here you can see the different types of difference water control walls are provided for different zones. Okay, now a pressure reducing hollow pressure relief wall is provided in a line in order to reduce the pressure, and then this will then this water will be mixed together, and then again this water will be supplied to the cooling coil, where it will take up its sensible heat from the water and cools the water to a required temperature, and this water then further supply to the rooms. Okay, once this water comes inside the room, here the heat transfer between the water and room air take place. We'll just see the terminal unit. Okay, so this is the basic fan coil unit. Okay, this unit, this is the, here we see the this unit. Okay, we'll study the how this unit works, terminal unit inside the room. Okay, have you understand up to this? Just raise your hand so that we can move further. Okay, so in case of all water system, water will be used as a cooling media. Okay, now as we here we can see that the suppose this is a room, suppose this is a room which we need to condition, now here we can see a connections for cold water. A connection for cold water means there will be one heat exchanger that will transfer heat from the water to the air. Sorry, from air to the water. Okay, here you have to cool the air. Now in the space there will be a air. Okay. Now the warm air from the conditioned space will be first passed through an air filter, where we have to remove its dirt particle and dust particle. Now this air will be passed to the fan, and then fan will blow air over this number of tubes. Here we can see the connection for cold water. There will be a number of tubes. Over these tubes, air will be passed, and as you all know that this is a chilled water. Okay, chilled water means the air water which is at 6 to 7 degrees Celsius temperature. Okay, once this air will be passed over this particular water pipes, then the cooling of air take place. Okay, means water will take up its air sensible heat and cools the air, and this cooled air is then supplied to the this room. Okay, and this how cooling take place. Now there will be a arrangement for the condensate drain. As this air will pass over the cooling coils, the some of the water vapors might condense during the heat transfer process. So this there must be arrangement provided in order to drain those condensate. Okay, and then the required amount of air will be supplied inside the room. So this is how a basic fan unit works in case of a water cool systems. Water cool systems. So I hope you all understand up to this. Just raise your hand so that we can move further. How all water systems works. So this is the basic fan units by which we understand the working principle of all air, all water systems. Okay. Now The last type of a system that is used is air water systems. Okay, the last types of system that is used in case of air conditioning of a room or a zone is the all air water system. Okay, so here we can see a different two different central plants. Okay, so central plant for the primary air. Okay, central plant for the primary air and central plant for the secondary air. Okay, now this say primary air will be supplied through a with the help of fan through a duct to the terminal unit is which is fixed inside the room, and a central plant for secondary water. Okay, secondary water means what? The water that is used to cool the primary air and secondary air. Okay, that is inside the room. Okay, now with the help of a pump, we'll pump the water to the this terminal unit. Okay, this water will be a chilled water. Okay, as the it is used or it is conditioned with the help of some condition air conditioners that is centrally mounted. Okay, now this water when comes to the this unit, okay, then the primary air is cooled with the help of a water, and then this air is supplied to the room. Okay, so this is the basic working principle of a air water systems. Okay, so in this secondary air, that is the air in the surrounding, also mix up with the primary air, and togetherly cooling of primary as well as secondary air take place. Okay, and this is taking place with the help of a secondary water. Okay, so this is how we can cool the air in case of a or air water system. Okay, so I hope you all understand up to this. Just raise your hand so that we can move further. Have understand up to this how air water system works. Now, okay, before going to the selection criteria, we just revise all those things. So in we study the all air systems. Okay, so all air systems, in all air system, air will be used as a working media between the condition space and a air conditioning plant. Okay, so this can be of a single duct systems and multiple duct system. Single duct system might provide a cooling or heating, and multiple duct systems might provide simultaneously heating as well as cooling. Okay, so these are the different types of a system, that is of the single duct type. The single duct constant volume, then single duct constant volume multiple zone system, single duct variable volume system. Now such type of a system, that is all air systems or all water systems or air water systems, are generally used when the cooling load is too high. When the cooling load is too high means more than 30 TR, that is 30 tons of tons of refrigeration is required. Okay, so this type of a system is not used for single room. Okay, single room means where there is a requirement of a 1 to 2 TR. Okay, for such systems or for the such rooms we can use unitary air conditioning systems. In that we can use either window air conditioner or a split air window air conditioner. Okay, so such type of a system is only useful whenever there is a high space cooling requirement. Okay, such as laboratories, then theaters, auditorium, then departmental stores. Okay, or different offices in the building. So here we can use such type of a system, that is all air system as well as all water system. Okay, here is the all water system. This is the how transfer takes place between the water and air, and the last is the air water system. Okay, so this is all about all air system, all water system, and air water system. And lastly, a selection criteria for air conditioning system. Now, which system will be used where is depends upon the this five criteria. Okay, that is the capacity, means the capacity of a system, then is the performance of a system, and special requirements, that is space requirements of the system. Okay, now as per the capacity means you can use central air conditioning system. Okay, whether it may be of the all air type or it may be of a all water type. Okay, you can use this system when the turns requirement is more than 30 TR. Okay, and unitary air conditioning system or a package type of air conditioning system may be used between the range 5 to 30 TR, 5 to 30 TR. Okay, there is no not basic difference between the unitary air conditioning system of package type and central air conditioning. The basic the only difference between the package type of air conditioning systems and central air conditioning system is the tonnage. Okay, so package type of air unitary system is generally used in the range of 5 to 30 TR, and central air conditioning system is used in case of 30 TR, and volume flow rate is up to 300 meter cube per minute. Okay. The next thing is the initial and running cost. We should know the initial and running cost of air conditioning. As you all know, the initial cost of window air conditioner as well as uh, split air conditioner is lesser compared to a central or a package type of air conditioners. Okay, but the running cost of a package or package type of air conditioner is somewhat lesser compared to the if it is used for the same tonnage. Okay, under those cases this running cost of a central air conditioner plus are much more lesser, but the maintenance cost is high. This is what maintainability, that is the maintenance cost in case of a central air conditioning is high. Okay, the required system reliability and flexibility, this reliability and flexibility for particular space is also important. Then architectural constraints are there. So these are the five things on which selection of air conditioning system can be carried out. Okay, so just raise your hand so that I will know that you are understanding up to this. Okay, so in unit number 5 we cover working of a summer, winter, air all around air conditioning system, then all air system, all water system, air water system, variable refrigerant flow system. This system, we have not studied yet. That is variable refrigerant flow system. This we will study in next lecture. I will just give the brief overview of this particular system. Variable air volume system we already study. In variable air volume system, we provide dampers nearer to the condition space and unitary and central air conditioning system. The unitary systems we already studied, and central air conditioning system is already studied. In unitary air conditioning system, basically use up to 30 TR capacity, and central air conditioning system is used when the capacity is more than 30 TR. Okay, so this is all about the air conditioning system. The only remaining part is the variable refrigeration refrigerant flow that we will study in next lecture. Okay, so today we'll stop here. Next lecture